appreciate
It's
it.
gonna be a good episode.
Let me know when you.
It
be a
is.
good one.
I'm really excited.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yesterday's
It's
was
gonna be an
good.
amazing.
Hey,
I watched
Jalen,
the parts I
you want to
watched.
bring us in?
Do I want to bring this in?
Yeah.
How you
Absolutely.
want to bring us in?
How do you feel?
You're listening to No Table Manners Podcast. Conversations for open-minded grown folks. We hope you enjoy.
Yo, how everybody doing out there? Welcome to the No Table Manners Podcast. What episode is this?
Good.
8? Number 8?
Number 8.
Dang, we coming a long way. Shout out to bro. First and foremost, I'm gonna introduce myself. I got a better vibe today. This your boy Jay, also known as Jalen, aka Junetown on Warzone. I'm gonna introduce my dog. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, what's up, man? Y'all know me. It's your boy Q, Quell, Mark Quell, whatever you want to call me.
Yeah, enough of that. My boy over here. What's my dog? Go ahead,
What's
Jeff.
going on? This is your boy Jeff, J Dennis, whatever y'all want to call me.
And as y'all can see, we have two lovely ladies with us today, joining us on the podcast. So I'm gonna let the ladies introduce themselves. We'll start to this young lady on my right.
Hi, I'm Brittany.
That's my baby, my fiance. You look good today, baby.
And now on my left.
Hi, I'm Cassandra, the Swedish realtor. So I'm happy to be here.
Nice little plug.
Yeah, you know, this business always.
All right, so today's episode is gonna be a good one. So the topic is, do Black men and women truly understand each other? So set the floor, set the table. Who wants to go first?
Let the ladies
So
go
pretty much
first.
just to dive into it a little bit. The goal of this podcast is to bridge a gap that I believe is there. Everybody on this panel may not believe is there, but I believe there's a gap between Black women and Black men. And that's the goal of this episode. It's not to widen the gap or argue or debate. It's to gain an understanding of each side.
We're gonna argue, we're gonna debate.
Yeah, that's
gonna do
cool.
that.
But the goal is to bridge the gap. But let's get into it and answer the questions.
I respect that. All right, so we're gonna start off in the first question. In your experience, what are some of the biggest misunderstandings between Black men and women? It's a good question right there.
If you believe there is misunderstandings.
No, one comes to mind for me. The first thing when I read this was, we're too independent. Black women.
Yeah.
We are too independent.
You better go off, queen.
And, I really don't understand not you, honey, of course, but like what everybody else is looking for. Like, do you want somebody that is super dependent on you?
Mm-hmm. You think that stems from like household? Like how you were raised, how you grew up?
I feel like it comes from that. Roles, if we're getting into like the roles of anything else, but like we are deemed too independent as Black females.
Yeah, so terrible.
So Black men tend to kind of go outside that race because of that reason, and I don't understand it.
Okay.
And Jeff, you and I had a conversation yesterday about when I brought up the topic, and were you, to my understanding, were you on the other side and saying that we do understand each other, or what are your thoughts?
So yes and no. I think there are moments in time where we don't understand each other.
You said the right thing.
I think there are moments in time where we don't understand each other, but to me, there's a simple solution to that, and that's communication. Because when you communicate what's not understood, you can understand it. Just like school. Like if a kid don't understand something or he don't comprehend something, he may stay after class and get help, or he may get a tutor, something like that. So to me, the solution is communication, and just really just like, in relationships, learning your partner.
So that's one-on-one though. Like in the general population of the general Black population.
I can speak to that too. So I think, me personally, I think we do, because in my opinion, I think for both sides, I think the only person that can understand the Black man other than the Black man is the Black woman.
Amen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is why we need each other.
Yeah.
So I think we both like understand each other. And same thing for the woman. Like I think the only person in this world that can understand the Black woman outside of the Black woman is the Black man. So when we unite together, the sky's the limit.
So why do you guys not want? Like, why are we so low on the totem pole? when it comes to
Whoa,
that's
on
not
the
true.
totem pole.
But
What you?
before we get there, why is there a gender war if that's the case?
Why is there a gender war?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
It is a great question.
Because that's all you see on social media now. It's like that's what. Granted, I know there are positive clips and snippets sometimes, but most of the time, and what people do soak up is just like you said, the independent woman and niggas ain't shit, and we got
What do women bring to the
Kevin
table?
Samuels.
No, that's
What do
facts. That's
women bring
facts.
to
But
the
we also,
table?
when we talked about that briefly, it's also the opposite as well. It's not just niggas ain't shit and
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's also black men are kings, black women are kings.
Yeah.
We need it's all of that too. So it's both
But I also think it
positive and
stems
negative,
from. I also think it stems from also what I was talking about, like household. Like your some black women are told by their mothers, your daddy ain't shit. So then in that case, that trickles down to just men ain't shit in general.
Okay.
So then they grow up to think, man, men ain't a goddamn thing.
I'm not sure. I think that it stems from like a household. Most like African American households are raised by independent black single women.
Yes.
Yeah.
So whether that's from divorce or they were never married in the first place. So I think that's technically where it starts necessarily is that the black woman is doing it on her own, which leads her to be more masculine than feminine. You know, because it's hard to balance it when you don't have the time in your life to do so. You know, so I think it like starts there necessarily. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen because that does happen.
Right.
You know, we do taint the home ourselves, if we're being completely honest. But I think a lot of that stems from being raised by black independent women who were necessarily single. But in our generation, we're more prone to be, you know, in a relationship with another black man. So it's kind of hard to find that balance.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's also a need at that point.
Yes, it is.
And I don't think necessarily we don't want to do it.
Exactly. No woman wants to play the man role.
Be
Any
independent.
woman that I know, I mean, for the most part, I think we do love to be earners. You know, we have ambitions that can seem masculine necessarily, but I don't think we looking to be like, I'm not a man. I don't want to be. Like,
Absolutely not.
And
Respect that.
before you did ask a valid question, but before we move on to your question, I want everybody to answer the first one. Like, do you feel like there's a misunderstanding between the black man and black woman?
I do. I really do. I hate to admit that. I think I can only really speak for my generation because what I seen more with my grandparents, it wasn't so much as like a gender war. You did what works for you, which is kind of how I am personally. I don't necessarily think I'm not completely traditional, but I know our generation really everybody's modern. Like, you know, it's like women that are single and that do a lot of things on their own. And then there's men who also obviously do a lot of things on their own. It's hard to kind of, you know, figure out how to make it work. But I do think it is, you know, I don't necessarily know how to solve it, but
Okay.
I think
What about you, Jay? Think there's a misunderstanding?
I definitely think there's a misunderstanding. But I think it's also stems from like years ago where your parents, they played a role. They had roles, right? Mom stayed most times. Mom stayed at the crib, took care of the kids, clean the house, things of that nature. And then now, I don't think it's a bad thing that we're transitioning to women being more independent. I don't think it's a negative connotation. I don't want anyone to think that. But I feel like for me, I want my sister to be able to understand that I want you to be able to take care of yourself. You don't need nobody to take care of you. Like, get yourself in order, right? So that way, when you're out on your own and you're doing the things, you know how to take care of yourself. You know how to survive with or without a man.
Right.
So that's where I feel as though there's a negative stigma with the whole, the black woman being independent. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I just think it becomes a bad thing when you don't know how to retract it or, learn how to be, just be feminine. At a point in time, like, just understand, like, I am here to take care of you. I'm not trying to do you wrong. I'm not trying to do you dirty. Like, I just want you to understand I'm here to take care of you. But me personally, like, I still want you to be independent. Like, I still want you to be able to do your own thing. And, but at the same time, like, just understand I'm here too.
Yeah. You jumped a little bit.
Yeah, because it was almost contradictory at one point, but you fixed it. You fixed it at the end.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you were like, I'm teaching my sister that she needed to be able to take care of herself.
Yeah.
Then it switched to but you need a man to kind of take care of you, and where is that femininity
Bro.
kind of coming in? But you work
I'll be
covered.
working.
No, I don't think.
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think he said need. I
I
don't think he said need. I don't think he said you need a man to take care of you. He just said you just need to know how to take a step
To
back
allow
and let
people
let
to
him
in.
do his
Okay.
role. That's all. But on the flip side, like you said, a woman does need to have that ability to be able to take care of herself, love herself properly, and then grow within a relationship.
Be
with
self-sufficient.
Yeah, self-sufficient. That's the word. There you go. Appreciate
I'll be
it, man.
working, bro.
You-
All right, so y'all ready to move on to the
You
next
on
question?
you on one today? No,
Hey,
let's
yeah.
tap
Oh,
on.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
You said why are black women at the
At the bottom
Black
of the
women at the
totem pole.
bottom of the
I-
We
Can
all
you
know.
elaborate a little bit more on
yeah
that, Brittany,
talk
too?
about that.
Yeah, and almost any aspect. It's like you have other races, you know, predominantly white. That's at the top. You got the white man. White women are even before black women. Black men are even before black women. We are very much at the bottom in terms of like, if you want to talk about the economy, if you want to talk about just who partners are chosen, like that aspect.
Okay, so I mean that is we can get into that topic a different time, but let's stick to black men and black women. 'Cause that's more.
That's on the topic because a lot of black men tend to date outside
Okay,
of their race.
let's go there.
Especially when they reach a different success level.
Status quo.
It's very few. There's a lot,
Okay,
but there's very few that stick to
why do you think that is? Or you don't know? You don't know.
perception.
Okay. What do you think? Let's ask the ladies first.
Well, thank you. Yes, I will piggyback off of that, even though it's not like it's a touchy subject, but it is true. I've seen it so many times, not necessarily in my community, but as a whole, the more the successful a man gets, the more he tends to date outside of his race. But I truly think, you guys, that's more of like that's like a self thing. I'm not saying, yeah, it's a more of another. I can't really, I'm not gonna put it on all black men because I feel like as much as I see like the Kanye West being with the Kim Kardashians, I also see, like all
LeBron
the
James
other
and Savannah.
yeah, like that are
Absolutely.
proudly like, that they know like black women are top tier.
Absolutely.
So I'm kind of in the middle with that. But what I don't like seeing though is, and this may like piggyback, will go another way. I don't like to see how black men at like other races are superior to black women.
That part.
Because of certain things, because we are a little more aggressive. But a lot of that, just like you guys are a product of your environment, a lot of times we are too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I think that like grace is not allowed. We don't really get a lot of grace. And I know the world don't give y'all black men grace either. But we're not talking about the world, we're talking about one another. I truly feel like black men don't give black women grace when we love you guys the most.
Hello. I mean, the aggressive word. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, because we're deemed aggressive.
I feel like we're assertive
Yes.
and not necessarily aggressive.
Agreed.
But again, if we stand on topic, some men, some black men, feel as though we are aggressive or not as submissive. And so that tends to kind of lead them towards other races.
And
it's easier.
that's exactly what I was going to touch on. Y'all, us three have talked about.
Yeah.
Us three have talked about pretty much will we date outside our races.
Right, we have.
Y'all said y'all answer.
I can't say mine on TV. I can't say mine.
I already know he probably saying something.
No. So listen,
say.
I told him they know this. Like, I always said I love my black queens, right? Like, absolutely to the end of the world. Like, I would not date outside of my race. I wouldn't date white women.
Okay.
I wouldn't say like I'm not opposed to like Hispanics. I'm not opposed to like.
So those are people,
right? I'm not opposed to the
Absolutely.
some Hispanic women. Like I'm not or like I Islander, like some in that sense, people of color. Like I'm not against that at all.
Gotcha. Yeah, of course.
My answer into what we talked about, I cannot reveal that answer. I can't say that.
I mean, you already revealed it
I
pretty
can't
much.
say that answer.
You already revealed it pretty much.
I am curious.
Yeah.
Nah, but
We can talk about that
he's
off
I mean, he said no, but he said he remember what was said.
He'll
He said
date
what he
brown
said.
people.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
I love my
Yeah.
black people. I love my people of color. Like, listen,
for sure.
I'm that's who I'm rolling with. I'm rolling with people who understand me, who will value me as a black man first and foremost. Because that's the most important thing. Like I just want to be valued as a first as a man, but also as a black man.
Okay.
But
Definitely.
All right. And do you want to?
Oh no, I pick up what he said. You know, we had that conversation on camera. I love my black queens. I don't date outside my race. That's just my personal preference. I don't knock anyone who does it.
Yeah.
But me,
it would be
I love
hard for me too because of the fact that
oh no,
like,
never will. Absolutely not.
just going back,
Absolutely not. Absolutely
going
not.
back towards like just being in school, like I was hardly ever around white people, so I don't really understand them.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for me to get involved into a culture that I don't necessarily understand, or I don't feel as though I would be accepted or a part of. Like it's just not.
Yeah.
I can go to I think any of y'all houses and fit in because of who I am. Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
for
just
sure.
I can't go to Susan's house and I'm expecting to hear.
And that makes a difference.
Like you know what I mean?
No, I agree with that.
I just want to be. I
100%.
just want to go someplace and I ain't got to sit in the back in the corner and hide.
Because I can't wear a nigga
Like
too
it don't
much, and that's
necessarily be
offensive.
This
the
ain't
girl.
Get Out.
It could
I'm
be
not
her
doing that.
family
No,
or
no,
her
no.
If
parents
I
or
can't say
whatever.
we're a nigga,
Right.
I don't want to be there.
So
Not most of the time. I'm not type of place.
So is that safety? Like, is that what we kind of provide for each other
Safety
in
blanket,
that
absolutely,
aspect?
absolutely,
Absolutely, yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Safe space. Yeah.
So
Did you have something to say about that?
yeah, for me, I'm whatever. Like for me, it's not. I just don't stick to one race. Like I'm open to all. For me, it's like, who are you as an individual, and how do you treat me? So
Understood.
if she happens to be black,
Shout out to her.
Yeah. What's wrong with?
I'm going with her. I'm going with her, and
Get to it.
that is what I have. If y'all ain't noticed yet, if y'all ain't put two and two together,
That's good for you. Shout out to them.
Hey,
if y'all
and
ain't
I
put
see.
two and two together,
Shout out to them. But
Aw.
understand this. I'm not a. I want to also put this out there for context. I'm not against anybody who does date outside their race. Like I don't want anyone.
Yeah,
thinking
like what
that.
I said.
None of us
I don't
Yeah,
care.
for
You
sure.
love who you love.
Each
You
his
find love.
own.
Like yeah, it is what it is. Shout out to you. But just me
Absolutely.
personally.
okay. Now I want to.
Not me.
Why do I believe men do that? Simply because what y'all said, women of other races, and not really races, cultures, they're as of recently, like I can't speak for 50, 100 years ago, but as of recently today, women are of other cultures are groomed to be a wife. Now I can't say no black woman was groomed to be a wife,
Right, because that
but
wouldn't be
most of the
true.
time in your culture, it's in our culture or in other cultures, it's like, oh no, you have to do this for the man and da 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 da. Like this is how you have to be grown. And they started from a young girl. Whereas what I've seen around me in my environment, not just like my family or the girls around me, I never heard really a grown woman teaching a young woman, hey, this is how you got to do da 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 da. This is how you got to move for yourself, but also for your family when you're going to become a wife. I have not saying it doesn't exist. I just haven't seen it. So that's why I think like men do go outside or date outside their race when they become more successful, because it's like I got what I wanted to accomplish. Now I just need a woman by my side, but I want to feel good. I want to feel like my woman ups me rather than challenging me all the time. That's what I think.
I got a quick question about that.
What's up?
So, do you think that's a environmental thing or a generational thing in regards to a grown woman teaching a young woman how to be a wife, how to move accordingly when they get older? Like, what do you think?
Both. Like I say, it's both generation, culture, and environment, right? Because we all grew. I don't know about you, but we all grew up around black people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
Like,
I
I mean, no, I'm not saying
No, I get.
that don't mean she grew up.
I get what you're saying, but yeah.
But
Well, I was groomed to be a wife. So my mom, I still fix my brother's plates. Like one of them isn't married. So
There you
I
go.
was groomed to cater to black men from my grandparents and my mom,
Mhm.
because she was also married. So, I mean, obviously, I think it varies, but Black households, we are doing that. You know what I mean? I truly believe we are teaching that. Not all the time. It's because that's a luxury. I'm going to be completely honest. That's a luxury. That's a mother that gets to stay home. Most of the women out like that's not Black, they get to stay home with their kids. They get to take them to school and drop them off. A lot of, like, not saying we don't get to do those things, but they're able to stay home. That's an option. A lot of times in Black culture, the mom can't stay home. Even if it's a two-parent household, the my mom was the breadwinner. So, like, although my stepdad worked, my mom, she worked and owned her own business. So I think that's more of a luxury thing.
Luxury in terms of, what do you mean?
Luxury as in that's a privilege.
No, I
to
get
be
that.
able
Well,
to like I feel for other cultures because in order for a woman to sit home and groom the daughter, the man has to be out there working.
Right.
And he has to be able to earn for the entire family. And our culture is not always like that.
Okay.
So that's why I call it a luxury.
Oh yeah, that's a luxury. I was trying to figure out what you were referring to. Was a luxury.
So I think if we want to, like, if Black men want that starts at home. Like, that starts with you. You want to be able to have a woman that is soft 90% of the time. You gotta let her be soft. You have to, like, and then it'll trickle down. So, but that's just my 2 cents.
Also, on the grooming piece, a lot of religion can kind of play a part in the grooming
That
as
religion play a
well.
big part.
Yeah, like what?
Which kind of ties in with culture a
Mm-hmm.
little bit, or a lot of it actually.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe it's always been like this, a divide between Black men and Black women. Where do we think it comes from? What happened? What broke down?
So I don't necessarily agree with that, to be honest. Like, you said a divide between Black men and Black women?
Yeah.
I don't really agree with that. Because again, like when I said at the beginning of the episode, like, we are the only people that, like, truly understand each other. And what I mean by that is the things that Black people go through. You know, whether it's racism, racial profiling, being scared for your life if you get pulled over by the police. Like, Black women and Black men both understand that.
Yeah, we do.
So, like, I don't think there's much of a divide. I get there's times where there can be misunderstandings, but again, I just think simple communication can solve that issue.
Again, that's one-on-one.
That's not just one-on-one though, because, like, you know how it takes a village to raise a child, and, like, say, like, there's Black women that are, like, helping raise, say, you know, this young boy, but they're not, you know, that's not his mom, but, like, they look out for him in the neighborhood, things of that nature, because they understand what he's gonna go through when he becomes older. Like, so I don't really.
I mean, I hear you.
That's my opinion.
I hear you.
Yeah, it's not a divide is a strong word to me. Like, I don't think there's a divide.
I think
she got something to say.
Okay, go ahead.
My fault. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's good, Jeff, actually, because I want to say something to that. So I don't know if you guys ever seen the interview with Nikki Giovanni and James Baldwin. And basically, it's a very famous interview, and it's like hours long on YouTube. But all they do is talk about the division in the Black culture. And at the time, they're dealing with was real racism. Like, don't get it twisted. We deal with racism every day, all the time. But it wasn't necessarily back then, like it was back then or whatever. And so I remember her making a point. She asked him a question, and he was saying, I'm out all day in the public, smiling in white men faces, loving people who hate me. And by the time I get home, I'm tired. And she was like, well, why you gotta, like, you just like you lie to them, lie to me, love me. Like, don't take it out on me. I'm not your punching bag. And so I think it started necessarily, I don't think that's what we wanted it to be. Period. Because even in slavery, we were still getting married. We were still, you know what I mean? We still had families, even though they were torn apart. I think it was the system that started the separation between the Black households. I think they knew what they were doing, and they had to because we were so powerful. You know what I mean?
I
And
agree.
so we've been, like, fighting hell and high water to amend that, to correct it, you know? And now it's just taking a different spin because social media is here. So I feel like it's a little bit worse because you have people on podcasts who don't know what they're talking about, not us, but the other people. But that's all the one I wanted to say.
Then, would you want to interject or?
I agree with that. It definitely started when, of course, our households were broken.
Yeah.
I think that plays a part because we're working so hard to rebuild our households now. And we don't see a lot of that. I ain't gonna say all the time, but we don't see a lot of
Right.
like our households come together. So
Mhm.
again, if you are out as a black man and you are trying to provide for your household and you come back, you don't see the ins and outs of what that black woman has been doing while you're gone. And so I think that load kind of, it needs to be shared or balanced in a way
Mhm.
in order for
Yeah.
us to it's a divide in that aspect. So I agree.
Now, to piggyback on what you were saying, Jeff, I was saying I hear what you're saying, but I'm on the other side. I do disagree with what you're saying,
Mhm.
where you're saying there isn't a divide, which I do believe there is a divide because I see it every day. Like, I scroll down my social media news feed and I see uh, baby daddies, black men having a hard time with, oh, my baby mama did this and she not letting me see the kid, and all I try, like, we know an individual who I don't know if you saw it, but he posted and said he wanted to have lunch with his daughter the other day, and he was taken off the guardian list for his daughter at school. So we see stuff like that every single day, and we also see the clips, like we see it with people we know, and then we also see the clips again where women are saying, "Oh, I don't need I don't need a man," or "I need this man to make this," or "I'm gonna cut this man off," or "It's red flag this, red flag that," really for really no reason.
Mhm.
But it's like I do see a gender war instead of saying, I do see the ones where it's saying, the black queen, black kings, and
It's a
uplifting.
little bit of both.
Yeah,
Like,
I do see both. But what I'm touching on is why is it that where does the negativity come from? And I agree with them saying it didn't start with us. It didn't start with us. If we really want to get specific and deep into it, it started with history and society and how the government removed the black man. What was the systematic plan to remove the
Absolutely.
black
Lock 'em up.
man
Yeah.
from the home?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people talking about that. You've seen a lot of podcasts talking about that,
Mhm.
where they removed the black man from the home, uh, riddled the streets with drugs
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
guns,
Definitely.
and then you
Yeah.
have
Easy access to get locked up.
welfare.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
easy it is to get on welfare. It's not even just how easy it is. I've been through a situation where um, years ago, when we were looking to get food stamps, and the first question was, Is your child's father on child
It's
support?
in the picture. Yeah. Yeah.
Is
That's
why
the
he not on
question.
child support?
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
A lot of times they make you put the
Yeah,
father on
they
child
make
support
them
to receive
to
the
receive
benefits.
benefits. The
And to
father.
receive those benefits, you can't really necessarily work a quality job
Mhm.
because you can't exceed a certain amount of income. It's an income cap.
So there's a systematic plan in place for black people to keep us oppressed
Hindered.
and hindered and broken, right? When we're looking at the judicial system, when you have, black people committing certain crimes the same as white people, but the
Yeah.
punishment is totally different,
Right.
right? So
Definitely.
when you remove the black man, right? Because women, yeah, we see the black. I think black women are forced to become independent, forced to be put in a masculine role, right? So they don't see, it's not that they want to be there. A lot of people, since it's been generations now, we're probably like going into the third generation of where it's like, it has been that divide. The black woman has had to be strong. And y'all, I mean, again, y'all grew up with two-parent households, but I was raised by a single mom, and it was like I see the struggles that I seen her become tough. Certain things that she had to do that she really wasn't supposed to do as a woman. And I see how tough she got on us, how she started raising us, and it's like, dang, I don't even have a mother's touch anymore,
Yeah.
right? So just the type of effect that could have on me as a man, the type of effect that it could have on my younger sister. Granted, I broke that mold. I'm glad I didn't grow into what I see a lot of my constituents be because of what their parents have raised them and they're becoming a product of their environment. But I think really it starts with the systematic plan to really oppress us. And that's what it starts. And, the woman, even though they want to have someone lead them, a lot of us as black men don't even know how to lead a woman.
Right.
Not and the strong woman. So it's like, dang. So
or lead themselves.
lead them. Yeah, simply because they don't know how to lead
Stars,
themselves.
Yeah.
Because in the Black community, we're the Black community is so masculine all the way around.
Yep.
Men and women. You know, so that's kind of my take on where it all started.
Yeah, I like that, and I think the next topic too kind of covers that as well. So, what role has media, music, or social media played in shaping your view of the opposite gender? And I think you touched on it too with the Instagram, and then
Because
you
I'm so
mentioned
tired of y'all. I'm sick of it.
It's a lot.
Stop asking what we
It's-
bring to the table. Stop asking the man to take care of you. Like everybody
it
just
is
do
a little
like
OD. I think it is a little crazy, especially when you see like you get those clips in the guys at the beach and they're recording people and they're like, what type of man are you looking for? I need him to make 150,000 so I can stay at
And
that.
then it'd be the ones that be single.
Yeah, it's like
Show me a healthy
Who don't
you know
take
that's not
care of
happening.
yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that ain't happening. So I guess I want you guys to pick up on, the social media aspect of music and things like that. How does that influence this divide?
We definitely didn't talk about that music.
The music is
Ooh,
bad.
the music is so bad.
Yeah.
Music is bad.
And it's not even like there's not music that
It's good.
is good. It's out there.
It's just value. It's not as valued as
It's not
high
as loud as
what's
the other
pushed.
one.
Yes.
And here's why. Again, back to the systematic plan. Black people do not run media. So you're not gonna get paid. You're not gonna get paid the big bucks.
Depends on which media.
No, I'm talking about who cuts the check.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The shade
Who cuts
room.
the check.
The shade room is
They
ran by
making
us.
money.
We know we're the face. We're
for
talking
sure.
about Viacom. We're talking
Yeah,
about
I get you.
Yeah, I got you.
The big corporations who are
corporations.
yes.
You're
Apple and
you're not
everybody.
going to get signed to a major label most of the time if you're talking positivity.
Absolutely.
They don't want J. Cole's.
Yeah.
They don't want those type of people.
That's the thing. That's the part that kills me too. Is like just speaking on the J. Cole. It's like throughout his entire time, like his catalog has always been about positivity. Like it's always been about uplifting our culture. It's always been about where he came from and how he got to where he was. But then when you hear people have conversations about J. Cole, it's like, man, he ain't all that good. It's like, what? Like, are you hearing the message though? Like, you're telling me, like, Future is a dog. Like, we all know Future is a crazy.
And
It's
y'all
good,
love him.
but Future is ranked almost top 5 in people's top 5, and it's like, he doesn't have any substance in the way he talks about. It's the same thing from start to finish. I like Future. I love the music, but it's like we had to call a spade at some point in time. Like, you know what I mean?
Even people just don't know how to separate it.
It's just crazy to me, man. It's like you got a lot of musical artists out here. Like I think we can all go down a tier list of who's toxic and who's against our culture.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
doesn't
Like,
help it.
and a lot of that music is what we tend to listen to because that's what they play, relatively a lot on the radio or just in general.
And it ain't just the men.
No, women too.
No,
like,
women too. We have our own. Real bad.
It's gotten like
it's gotten bad.
It's gotten worse. And I feel like it's only gotten worse. Like you go from
think the difference between men and women, and this is probably biased. We just know better though. Like I feel like the women who rap about stupid stuff, they marry. Like they go home to a man. They might be rapping crazy.
I disagree.
I disagree. And stuff.
Because I'm about to say Sexy Red Child.
She not her. Okay, because that's not the same category for me. I don't even listen to that too. What I'm saying.
I mean, but we same thing with Meg.
But Meg be having a man have something that she up under. You know what I mean?
Man, you had Cardi B say she drugged that man, and we y'all played that thing like it wasn't. Man,
even though Meg was up under a man, she was still with other men in the process.
Wait, first of all, that's allegedly because he cheated.
Let's not talk about Megan Thee
Stallion.
They
probably cheated.
I was so say that. That's slavery.
No, Megan, bro. Free Tory.
Free Tory.
Don't even do that. You should respect yourself. Tory shot that woman.
This is
we need to see. Let's talk about that in another episode.
That woman in her foot.
Shot the woman in her foot. Ain't nothing happened. The girl, she got shot in the foot. The girl was twerking at Coachella the next day. What we talking about? Can we?
Jalen,
let's talk about that. We'll talk about another day. Because listen,
she got it out.
No, we don't leave it in there.
He didn't mean that. He ain't mean that. We're gonna edit that one.
But that to me, but just
I ain't got no dog in that fight, but he's standing on what he said.
I don't have no dog in that fight either.
Me either. But I
like he was guilty.
That whole thing was weird, though. We ain't gonna talk about it. That whole thing was weird.
He was convicted.
I respect that. I respect it. We agree, disagree.
We agree, disagree.
We agree, disagree.
That's right. That's
But
good.
back to the subject at hand. Like I do feel like again, like the music, the social
Yeah,
media,
for sure.
all of that
Yeah.
plays a major role.
It doesn't help us.
It does not help us at
I
all. It
agree.
makes us look like fools at most
It
point in time. Like I
does.
just don't.
Okay.
Why we
It's just
talk about
crazy.
each other like that?
We dog each other out. Like
Nah, that's what they
wild.
want though. They love that we do that. Like make
And-
ourselves look
But
like
that's the
fools.
divide. That causes the divide.
Yeah,
I think-
yes, Jeff.
I feel like
that's
the biggest
personal,
word. I think the word we also should
Because
be
that
using
don't cause a
is
divide between. Like, it could be
We're
something,
not saying
like,
everybody, but
It does cause a vibe between our culture.
It does, but I also think another word we could use is also a disconnect too.
Yes, that's
My
I feel
boy.
like I feel like that's a big
My boy.
disconnect.
Okay,
Come on, you hear me? Listen, I had some wine in me. You know the girls is here. I ain't on DT today,
No
but
DT.
next week
No
I'm back
DT
on
today.
DT. But yeah, I think the
bullshit.
biggest word is like I do think there's a disconnect as well. Like I feel like we understand each other, but we try so hard not to. Because I feel like because you said it earlier, like you feel like women are at the bottom of the totem pole, but I feel like we're fighting to be at the bottom. Like both of us are at the bottom, black men and black
But
women.
we at the bottom.
But why are we fighting to be at the bottom? We're both down there together. Why are we fighting?
You
But why
heard
are we
that?
fighting to be at the bottom? We're both down there
I mean,
together.
that's true.
Like we
That's
should
true.
be trying to. I know this is what this podcast is about, is trying to uplift each other to get to where we want to be, to the status quo. But we're all down at the bottom fighting over who's worse off.
Okay,
No,
let's-
I'm
I
worse.
think
So
Rick's
you're
point
worse.
is like the most hated person in America is a black woman. I think that's more what she's going.
We just seen that.
Like I'm just
Well,
saying.
wait,
Like I feel like
say-
in the context,
Uh-huh.
like the most hated person in America is a black woman.
Hey, look, I don't know. No, that
I
is
don't know.
that
and a lot
is
of things struggle. Like we make the least
that-
when it
that's-
comes to earning. You know what I mean? Although we lead in entrepreneurship and I think degrees, things like that. But I'm just speaking as a whole necessarily. So it's just that's all I was saying. But you know, bring it back in.
Let's because we can go far on that.
We can.
Yeah, we could.
But
But it really speaks to what Jalen just said. Like whether it's the black woman at the very bottom or the black man, we down there
We're down
together.
at the
So
bottom.
why does it matter who? Like you know,
We're
what I'm
down
saying?
there
So
together.
that goes to what I was saying earlier. Regards to we the only ones that really understand each other.
Yeah.
So
That's why I'm about to flip it. That's why I'm about to flip it. And we're gonna go in a direction of, okay, we've talked about, is there a divide? Why is there a divide? Let's talk about how, if there is one, let's connect it. Let's bring the disconnect together. So the question is, have you ever felt unseen, unheard, or unsupported by someone of the opposite gender in our Black community?
Personally?
Personally.
No, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
You said opposite gender, so let me think on that a little bit more.
Because if we're talking, you said the opposite gender.
Opposite gender.
That we weren't heard, like we weren't seen.
Heard, weren't seen.
I mean, because typically from the opposite gender, I'm always seen because of this is who I am as a black man. Like, I'm always gonna be seen, no matter. I'm in the grocery store, we're in the elevator, I'm walking down the street, I'm always gonna be seen. Like, and there's always gonna be that negative stigma on me because of who I am and what I look like and how I'm dressed. So in that aspect, I feel like like I'm seen. But if you're saying in the sense of like politically and like the workforce, I feel like that's a different conversation because I don't typically see the like in where I work, like I work with a lot of white people. Like you know, my supervisor is white. So but me and her have a mutual understanding. Like we get each other. Like so our relationship works. Like she trusts me. She gives me a lot of insight on a lot of things that go on in the park and recreation business, like Mecklenburg County. Like she gives me insight on the political side of how things operate, how things work. Because she wants me to be like she wants me to move up. Like she's been encouraging me to do different training. So I've done different trainings throughout Mecklenburg County to help advance me into a higher position at some point in time. So from my standpoint, like from my supervisor, like I feel like I'm heard by her and she sees my work.
What about dating?
Dating?
Yeah.
I don't date the opposite, so I don't.
Wait, what?
No, like black women.
I'm about to say, I thought we were talking about opposite. You said opposite. We're talking about the opposite.
You date the opposite gender.
Gender, but
No, I'm
not
talking about,
opposite
like,
race. No,
Oh, okay,
opposite
that's what I thought.
gender.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I thought
No, my fault, my fault.
I'm like, yeah, I don't date white people. I don't know.
Gender,
Gender.
not
Yeah,
race.
black
Yes,
woman.
yes.
So black women, do I feel
Yeah.
hurt about black women?
How
I seen.
when you're dating,
Ooh.
have you ever in a point when
It's
you were
been, I
dating?
will say there is has been complex in that sense because of the type of person I am. Like y'all know me, like I'm chill, I'm laid back, but I like to be funny. And sometimes I could be funny at the wrong time. But I just need you to
You don't
understand. I just need you to understand like my humor. That's how I keep myself like level headed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
like
got
to
you.
I want not necessarily want to joke around when something's serious. Like if it's a serious matter, then of course we address it. But I don't I hate like being uptight. I hate being frustrated. I hate being angry. But there has been times where it's just like for me, like I understand my communication could be better and it should be better. And when I do communicate myself to somebody, they don't typically want to hear me or
What I see a lot
try to hear me.
is shutting down or blowing up.
Yeah.
That's in my past dating, I've dealt with a lot of you either shut down or blow up, and it's not a lot of in between.
In between, yeah.
It's like, yo, we're trying to solve this. Why are you getting up here, or why are you not talking at all? Like,
I think I've dealt with a lot of the shutting down.
let's understand each
Yeah.
other. Like, don't shut down on me.
Because if you blow up, I'm just gonna leave.
A lot of people blow up back. That's the crazy part, and that's what happens in a lot of relationships. A lot of and they say, "Oh, that's all relationships, right?" All done,
Nah, you just got to have a way of. I think that's another thing to go back to, like just the original topic is what Jeff was talking about, the communication aspect. We don't know how to talk to each other.
Yeah,
like, and we talked about it yesterday, or in the podcast previously about therapy. I'm not saying that everybody needs to go to. You don't have to go talk to somebody. But you had mentioned like just nature therapy.
You
like you
learn
can
how to
go take a
communicate,
walk.
though.
Like, yeah. So we could go on a walk. There's no way you can be angry looking at birds walking down by a river. You know what I mean? Like we're just in a good environment. We're chilling. Like we're like this. You just have to have ways to understand, like, bro, we don't this environment that we're in right now. We're in the bedroom, we arguing. Hey, you know what? Let's go out someplace. Let's go do something. Like, right? Because obviously this setting right here is not this isn't the environment that we need to be in. Let's go. Yes, let's go have a conversation. Let's go talk. Because I feel like communication is the biggest thing in our culture. We don't know how to talk to each other at all.
That's big facts.
At all.
You ever felt unseen, unheard by the black man? And it don't even got to be dating. It could be.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. Yeah, because I was gonna say I don't necessarily feel unseen, but I do feel unheard a lot of times, and it just goes back to growing up with older brothers and a bunch of boy cousins. And even just being accepted for who I am and the way I am, which is typically not the way society goes. So I just want to be seen. I want to be seen for who I truly am. And so sometimes that's good, and then sometimes it ain't so good. But it's me. But I think being unheard has been my battle. And then also, I think the disconnect is just accountability. I think we both need to just look at each other and figure out why we're so strong and how it's hard to receive. That's something I've been dealing with, learning to let somebody do something for you because you're so used to doing so much for yourself, and learning to receive. You know what I mean? Yeah, like that's hard. You pray for something, then you like, God give it to you. Like, oh my God, I didn't even know I was gonna have to work on receiving it because I desired it so much, or I am that person to a lot of people in my life. So, but yeah, I don't know what's worse, but I can tell you when you don't feel like you have a voice or people are not listening to you, it does have an effect on how you see black men and how you're portrayed the black man and what you say and sometimes what you don't say to them. So,
and we've had conversations in regards to like how you would get certain things across or being unheard.
yeah.
And I think this is where I agree with you when you were talking about being a black woman being a lotus on a totem pole. I do think black women are the most unheard. So when you do get your point across, you might be kind of already fed up, or it's like you do assert and it becomes, oh, she got attitude.
She's aggressive.
Yeah, she got attitude. And I do understand that. I really do. But that's when I have talked to you about, we've had our one-on-ones where it's like, well, here's how you do it in a way that a black man, a white man, whoever will hear you and it doesn't come off aggressive or being passive aggressive. It's just being, hey, this is what it is, and you could be calm about it. You could be, you could be, you can be calm about it. And
not that I struggle with that, you guys, because I
yeah,
have
yeah.
not
No,
struggled with that a lot.
we
Just
just
a
talking
couple
about it.
times, I had to get some people together.
You had to yoke somebody up a couple
But
times.
yeah, I had to yoke them.
Yeah,
but,
this
you
is
know,
just
my man,
iron sharpening iron.
Yeah,
no,
him his little ass up. You had to him his little ass up.
yeah,
No,
nah, no, not him. No, not my baby. Just like, not my guy. Nah, not my guy.
Nah, this is iron sharpening iron, my brother.
Nah, that's what's up though. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good.
What about you, Jeff? You got any
Have you ever felt unseen or unheard?
unseen, unheard by a black woman?
No, to be honest.
Okay.
That's good.
Honestly, no.
Okay.
About a black woman, no. And that's whether you're talking about dating, professional, career wise, like, no, to be honest.
Yeah.
At home.
At home, no. I have not dealt with that by the black woman. No, honestly.
Yeah, at home, nah.
Because we be doing something right.
Yeah, I love my mama.
Hey, come on now.
I know that's right.
She loves you too, Jalen.
Yeah.
Good job, Mama Jalen.
What do you mean by that?
That was good. It was compliment.
I love my mama.
For you.
Hey,
That's
for real.
Yeah. What you mean by that?
We give you compliments. You're not accepting
bro.
There's no disconnect.
You're a rare breed.
Hey, they ain't killing you, but they shooting you with a BB gun.
I'm serious.
They shooting you with a BB gun, though.
I'm gonna shout y'all out.
Oh no! Don't shoot at us.
That's a compliment.
No. I got it.
But
I ain't tripping.
what does healing between a black woman and black man look like to you?
A hug.
Healing. I actually do believe in
a hug.
Oh, baby.
I'm
but
telling you.
that communication piece is, to me, is perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like if you can take yourself outside of things and like see it maybe from like a bird's eye view, you will get so much more accomplished. And that may be the therapist in me. Shout out to me. However, it's just it's a different lens. So if you can see yourself outside of like your own, like take yourself outside of your own feelings at that time and really just listen in to see what somebody else is saying, I think that can bring the healing.
I agree.
No, just listen to be heard. You want to be heard.
A lot of people listen to respond and not listen to understand, and that's the divide.
I respect that.
Any answers from one of y'all too?
No, I actually agree with what Brittany said. I think a lot of grace is just needed, you know, because we both on the same thing. I feel like a lot of times black men and black women looking at the elephant, but one's looking, like you said, the perspective from the front, and then the other one is looking at the elephant from the back. And so we got to figure out how to, first of all, come together, let our guard down. Say, I fucked up doing this. You know what I mean?
I think
like, you really got to get that accountability piece.
Just say it.
You just got to say what it is. And then you got to be vulnerable with a lot of that. Man, it's so much trauma. It's so much, you know, the history. And just, it's a lot. But I think it's doable because I feel like we do it.
Yeah.
And it's work, though.
It's a whole different topic.
I've been learning that with these three buffoons since I've known them for so long.
Bro, why we gotta be
hear me out. I'm about to give y'all.
Hey,
good this whole time.
So you gonna let that slide, Quell?
Let me go, bro. Since I've been, we've known each other about how long? About 4,
bro, it's going
been
on
a minute.
Nah,
but since I've known them, it's more or less like, bro, we've always, you know, try to make sure we keep each other accountable, like accountability, right?
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of times where you get a little forgetful. And Jeff, I'm gonna say this right now. Jeff don't forget shit. He don't forget. He don't forget a motherfucking thing. So if you ever say
got a good
something,
memory, bro. I was blessed with a good memory.
Man. So that's one thing I will say from these two, bro. Like just on some real, like just to give them their flowers, like just keeping each other accountable.
That's good.
And it always having like open dialogue. Like we've always been able to communicate to each other just about anything that's going on, whether it's personal, whether it's just having random conversations. I think just as black men, just between us,
I
just
love
being
that.
able to keep this brotherhood for so long, even though the other episode, things was a little rocky, but we better now. I had to take a
Hey, it was just a little, you know what I mean?
we good now.
It's all good. It's all love.
Yeah, I took a couple of days off. I had to go on vacation.
You need a vacation.
But yeah, I put my PTO in, so I wasn't playing that.
Oh my God.
But just in seriousness, like just just being able to communicate to each other and just understanding each other, because like you said, we all three of us come from different backgrounds, right? And I don't know how this relationship between us has worked for so long, because there's not a lot of friendship that lasts this long over time, especially not even within black men. Like a lot of things typically start to dwindle after a few years because they all have different perspectives, or they have different goals that they have in mind. But I think we've all tried to help each other achieve each of our goals throughout life. You know what I mean? So I just want to give y'all y'all flowers. That's the last flower y'all gonna get from me.
Yay, black
My
men.
dog.
Yeah, shout out to us.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, but then I also want to say,
So,
for the two ladies as well, just the time that y'all have been in their lives, I can tell that there has been a distinct difference. I'm gonna start with Jeff first, because I'm gonna tell you something. It has been a total shift in his personality.
Say more.
Because I'm not gonna mention previous, but he has been
yeah.
much more like himself. You know what I mean? Like before he was like almost like a
It was
robot. Like he
dark
was just
cloud, my
he was
boy.
just going through the motions, and seems like now. I'm being serious. Like I'm being dead serious. Like now it seems like you've opened up like a almost like a third eye, like where he's able to be Jeffrey. You know what I mean? Like he's not coming in here just to just be going through the motions.
That's so sweet, Jalen.
Yeah, I be trying. And then for you, like Quell,
Don't say no bullshit.
no, I'm being dead serious, because this is, bro, we're about this is you want to talk about understanding. Like this is how we understand. You gotta give flowers where the flowers are due. You know what I mean? So I gave you a bouquet. I'm not gonna give you a rose, because I ain't really fuck with you right now. So the rose. So no, but in seriousness, no. But with Quell, like Quell just has been happier. Like, you know what I mean? Like y'all been together what, about 2-3 months? How long? Y'all been together for however long, but you just seem happier. Like you just seem like everything is going in the direction that you've always planned it out to be. Like you finally feel like you can take a back seat and just be,
For sure.
you could be Mark Quell. You know what I mean? Before you were just like, bro, I got hustle and bustle. I got to get this. I got, like, now you just able to, like, bro, I can finally just kick my feet up and just go with the flow.
Facts.
So I just want to make sure I get everybody flowers. Are we talking about, where we on this topic of understanding?
No, he had to. I was about to terminate his contract.
Oh,
Whoa.
I appreciate it.
one thing
Thank
I
you,
want to say
Jalen.
about that you touched on that brings apart healing or
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
Go ahead, baby.
And so you need a good woman on your team.
Yes.
And I really truly believe that. Not saying that, of course, you need a great man,
Right.
but like support.
Yeah.
That
Any
support
successful
piece
man
is
in the
there.
world says
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if you
a
feel like
woman, get a
the
good
world
woman.
is against you, and then your lady at home is against you too,
It's gonna.
It ain't
that
even
can
that. Even if you
backfire.
don't got a lady, but if you if you feel like the world is against you, which the world is not in your favor,
Right.
you know. So when you beating the odds and people are beating you down while you trying to beat the odds, but then you come home and your woman is just uplifting you, it's like, boy, you can do anything.
Yeah,
You can do anything.
All right, I want to add one thing. I know it's not on here. So just in the context of this conversation again, do you also feel as though there's a disconnect because of the fact that most men aren't able to be vulnerable? Or,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like they're not able to be
Yeah.
emotionally,
That was the one.
Now that right there,
involved. You get what I'm trying to say?
I would agree with.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I
Yes, for
definitely.
where you're
sure.
not able to just be,
Absolutely.
I don't want to say the word. You know what I'm trying to say? Okay.
Yeah.
We're not.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I agree, because
I definitely agree with you.
I feel like, let me know if you with me or not.
What's up?
Sometimes when we talk, we feel like, damn, I'm about to be walking on eggshells. So let me try to figure out what I want to say.
Tread lightly.
Yeah, let me tread lightly. So it's hard to be all the way vulnerable when your intentions are well, but it's not received in the manner that you wanted to put it out. So it's like, damn, I can't even. I was met with this type of response, so let me just not even Let me just keep that to myself or keep that between the boys.
Ball it up.
I'm with you on that, but I think that right there is learning how to say it, not what you're saying, but learning how to say it, like tone, things like that. Because I've definitely, went through that, and still working on that. So I'm with you on that.
What about y'all? What makes you think a man? What makes you think, or what is the reason why you think a black man isn't vulnerable with a woman or a black woman?
Weakness.
And you said weakness?
I feel like a lot of black men feel like vulnerability is.
I was about to say, and it's the total opposite. Vulnerability is strength.
It is definitely
it is the utmost.
opposite,
it's like the strongest thing you can do. But I think, and I think they're not allowed to either.
That's
because
my
I
point.
just learned that there's some ancient women out there who be throwing stuff. What?
I know what happened.
I don't know.
What was so funny?
He laughing at Jalen.
What, Jalen?
He laughing at
What is
What you got to say?
I swear I did not.
No, it's
This
not.
is
It's
not me
facial
this time.
expression. It's just facial expression.
It's not me this time. I swear to God, it's not me this
Hey,
time.
remember when we talked about? We said your thing was shout out to bro.
Yeah, I told you it's the face. I told you.
That's what I just saw.
It's not. I swear it's not me. He's not talking about me. I swear he's not talking about me. Y'all can roll this back.
I just looked at Quell.
I swear to you, he's not talking about me.
Jalen.
Why you dying laughing?
Okay. You got something to say to that?
No, I was just.
But you know what? That's also a thing because, like, when we're touching on vulnerability,
y'all laughing.
No,
okay.
No, hey, look, we have.
It's a mask.
No, look, no. Listen, we have a clip.
This is what I do, baby.
We have a clip. So there's video footage of what I was laughing at.
It just wasn't right now.
No, is what happened after you said what you said, and
when you said strength, like vulnerability is strength. Apparently, someone on this panel made a face in regards to that comment.
Oh,
was not me.
Yeah.
Okay, Jalen.
So that's what. Do you?
All right, no.
It was not me.
You said weakness.
I feel like a lot of black men feel like vulnerability is.
I was about to say, and it's the total opposite. Vulnerability is strength.
It is definitely.
It is the utmost. It's like the strongest thing you can do. But I think, and I think they're not allowed to either.
That's my point.
Because I just learned that there's some ancient women out there who be throwing stuff. What?
I know what happened.
I don't know.
What was so funny?
He laughing at Jalen.
Is there any? You good?
No. Go ahead.
You good?
I'm good.
Do you want to respond to that?
I didn't even finish my sentence.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all I wanted to say, you guys.
No, you didn't finish. Go ahead.
No, that's fine.
No, don't shut down. This is your time.
Yeah, you gotta speak.
See? You see what I'm saying? Look how I'm at. When I'm over here trying to.
Let's bridge.
Vulnerability is strength.
Yeah.
Dot.
Yeah.
Floor is yours.
Thank you very much. No, but all I was gonna say was, I think that black men aren't allowed to be vulnerable in the world, and I don't think we as women help all the time when it comes to that either. I hate that it's like that for black men. I literally like I have black male friends. I have brothers. I always try to ask them how they doing. If they need anything. 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna say yes because that's just the type of black man I'm around.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They'll do it themselves, or they're not gonna try to burden me with their issues or whatever. But I just feel like black women, if we can just allow black men to be vulnerable, to feel safe, to be emotional or to cry, or however they feel, I think that allowing them to have a safe space is good. And then black men just making sure you're up on your emotional intelligence and know how to express yourself in a healthy manner because nobody's your punching bag.
Yeah.
So
ladies, don't throw that in our face when we're vulnerable. Don't.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to touch on.
Why you crying, ass nigga? You out here? Don't do that. Don't do that.
A lot of times they don't throw it, or sometimes they throw it in your face. It's what they be saying to their girls, or when they done, the relationship is done. It's like
when they go back.
That too. But to me, the throwing it up in your face, that'd be the worst. Because it's like once you open up and be vulnerable with someone, and then like when they get mad or something, they throw it up in your face.
That's the worst.
You never want to go through that again, and then it's like, for the rest of your life, okay, I ain't doing that. We don't talk about that off camera. We not going into detail, but it's like, bro, that right there will just make you be like, okay, I ain't doing that no more because clearly it's weak. When I did it before in the past. It's like,
for me, it's not about.
No, but it got blew up in your face, and then they saying, "Oh, no, you weak because you did this." Like it's like, bro, okay, I ain't gonna do that again. But that's where healing comes into play. Working on yourself, being like, okay, just because you went through this bad experience, don't mean every woman is like that.
Right. You just find a girl who's gonna.
For me, that's what I was saying. It's not about for me, I don't think it's weakness. I think it's just being more.
No, I don't think it's. I think
No, I'm saying
it's strict.
this is
I'm
being
just
more
saying-
mindful of who you give that vulnerability to.
For sure. Yeah.
That's it. Like just knowing your woman instead of just like, because a lot of people do just hop into relationships and you don't know that person. And then it's like once that turmoil does happen or a man, has the opportunity to become vulnerable, it's like, oh shit, why is she doing this? And she don't even know, like, oh, I didn't know this man was weak. And it's like, if a woman is thinking that vulnerability is weak, that man, if he's not all the way who he should be, he may reflect that and be like, oh yeah, this is second guessing. And so
Did you want to comment on the whole strength thing, or are you good on that?
No, I agree with that.
Oh, okay,
like I think it is. I'm just saying that, like when you go through something and you get told it's weak because of something you did with being vulnerable, whatever it may be, that would just make you think otherwise. When really that's not the case. It's just you went through a bad experience.
It's definitely the opposite.
Yeah.
And I will say personally, I hold space for a lot of people. So me, like one of the biggest compliments is hearing that like I can hold space and I make somebody that I love feel safe.
Yeah.
So I think that's the piece. Like we all need to feel emotionally safe with one another.
Yeah.
For sure.
Men and women. Yeah,
Right,
definitely.
I like that. I think this conversation right here is something that could assist with the disconnect between our cultures. I think just being able to be in this type of space and be vulnerable, and have this conversation with no judgment. I think this would definitely help with this whole topic moving forward. But
can we go to that last question on the list?
Absolutely. What is one thing you wish the other gender understood about you?
I think that we both all need to understand that there is somebody out there who loves the way you love, who wants the same thing you want, and everybody ain't out to get you. And there's great men and great women on both sides. Everybody ain't, just like the podcast we see on Instagram. Like again, not this one. But
what about you personally? Is there anything that you wish the black man really understood about you that you feel like you misunderstood?
yes, I do. I think that when it comes to ambition, I think that I'm kind of, it's a negative light for me, but it's a positive light for men in my family or my ex-husband, things like that, and I just don't like that. I think that I should be able to dream as big as I want to dream, go as far as I want to go, and be who I want to be, and that's it. Like I want my light to be able to shine no matter what. So yeah, I think that's it.
All right. What?
I don't know. I'm still thinking on it. I guess the submissive thing, just kind of going back. I feel like you can be submissive to the right person.
Amen.
What about you
Women
personally?
have to be
you
safe.
Personally. Okay.
Yeah, personally, like you have to feel safe enough to do that. You can't just give that
with a leader too. You gotta be with a leader.
Where you gonna leave
you gotta lead. Okay, I'm going over with you.
I feel like
I'm not going over
it has to be a strong person in order for me to be submissive, in certain aspects. So, yeah, I gotta trust your leadership.
Absolutely.
And who you getting your leadership from.
Okay.
So it can't be the blind leading the blind, job.
Yeah. Not for real.
You want to share?
For me personally, I would want the black woman to understand that I have zero ill intentions whenever I'm saying something to you or dealing with you. Like whether it has something to do with myself or I'm talking to you, I have zero ill intentions. And a lot of women do have that guard because of things that have happened in the past. So there is trauma there. And it's like, me personally, I can say this for all men, all black men. Me personally, I have zero ill intentions when I'm dealing with you. I will tell you what my intentions are.
Why are you speaking as if?
I mean, because you already know what's up.
Just speaking that sense is all I'm saying. That's good.
But you know what's up. So we good.
You understand what I'm saying?
Y'all locked in, twin?
Yeah, we locked in, twin. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But this is for
the totality of the package.
yes.
Go right ahead.
So
you don't have to edit it out.
But you no,
you keep that going. Yeah, you keep that in there.
But
I
you
stand by what I
okay? So let's actually get right here. We have had conversations where I felt misunderstood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I explained it why, and it was on that topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, I told you my intentions, right? I have zero. If I say something that you don't like or you disagree with, it's not to. I'm not. There's no ill intent. I did not mean to hurt your feelings, but how can we solve this?
Yeah.
And we worked it out.
That's very true.
So my baby got me. We locked in, twin.
Yeah, Jeffrey.
I don't know. I'm kind of still thinking. I would say maybe trust, and I get like everyone
Personal?
doesn't it. No, not personally. I'm just talking.
No,
Come on, y'all.
like-
Y'all, listen, hold on.
No, I ain't. I
No,
don't
but
mean
the
like
question was personal.
personal is what do you want?
personal.
What do you
I
want? Okay, what do you want? Since
Jalen.
she wanted to go.
See, we done
Yeah, no.
backtracked into the statement that I said this is a good place to have this conversation because now
This is
y'all.
still good.
Nah.
This is still good.
I was still personal.
You know
saying,
that.
like,
You know
what?
that's not. You know that's.
What is there anything
Personal.
that you would want?
Well, shit.
Wait a minute now.
Nah.
Is there anything that you would want Brittany to understand in
No.
regards to you?
No, because she
Okay.
understands everything.
Got you.
Ooh,
That's good.
I'm just saying.
That was
okay,
yeah, come on
I'm
now.
on that
Like,
rock.
it wasn't
That's what I
personal. I was just
understand.
talking like
Dang,
in
I know y'all
generality.
see
Nah, we was
that.
talking about you though.
That's good.
Yeah, not me. Not me. No.
Good
Oh,
one time.
You're an open book.
You said what?
You're an open book.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead now.
All right.
What about you, Jay?
I guess for me, I think I say I'm still a work in progress. Like I still have a lot to learn. I'm learning, day by day.
Oh.
I learn a lot about myself each and every day.
Mm-hmm.
But just understanding that like I am a work in progress. I'm still trying to build myself up. Trying to get myself in a place where I'm financially stable, emotionally stable, like intellectually stable, like just across the board. So that way, when I'm in a relationship that we have, you understand that why I'm working extremely hard to get to where I want to be, and I'm still going to work on myself every day.
I love that, Jalen.
That was good, Jalen. That's
Thank
a
you.
perfect way to answer the question.
Shout out to.
What I want to say is because you asked a question when it was me and Jeff on the pod, and he kind of touched on that, and we want to go to that, but I want to piggyback on what you just said
In regards
about I'm still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell you I'm not gonna get it right the first
You're
first
not
time
supposed
every
to.
single time.
We're all human beings. You're not supposed to.
Of course.
Mhm.
You're not supposed to.
I'm
Because
not
everybody
gonna get it
is
right the
different.
first time every single
Yeah.
time.
We was just talking about this. Like we learn something every day.
You
learn
learn
every
something,
day.
right?
Yeah.
I stand on this. You learn something new every day as an individual.
Mhm.
So when you are in a relationship, why not learn something new about your partner? Like you should never stop learning your
Never
partner.
stop learning. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like,
You asked, why do men feel like we need to have it all together before we get into a relationship or before we move
That's a
forward?
good question.
no, my fault. Go ahead.
No,
You first. That's easy.
I know what I'm gonna say.
No, I'm gonna say
So your
something.
question is, what's your question is, why do
you
men?
just said, you're still a work in progress. You
Yeah.
want to get it all together before you,
Yeah.
right? She asked, why do men feel like we have to have it all together before we get serious with a woman?
Ooh. It's an amazing question. Because I want to be a provider at the end of the day. Like I want to take a lot, because I think you touched on that, taking that burden off of your shoulders, right? Like I want to be, if I'm able to take care of myself financially, especially, then you shouldn't have much to worry about, right? Like I want you to be able to be, to do what you want to do, be free to do what you want to do, because then that also goes into what we talked about, culturally for the white woman, where they have time to go do things with their kids, right? And so they get to mold them into technically who they want them to mold them into. So for me, it's like if I'm in a position where I'm taking care of myself and I've gotten everything situated, then you don't have anything to worry about. Like, oh, he gonna handle that. He got it. Yeah, I'm not stressing about that.
Hold on. Oh yeah, go ahead, Claire.
So when I ask that question, it's more so like when you are able to have that foundation built, like for yourself.
Yeah.
I hear, but I want to make sure that I can do that for you.
Yes.
On top of my stuff. And that doesn't necessarily have to happen before taking the next step. I think that was.
Oh, so you don't think? So you think a man should be put together already?
I feel like
themselves?
a man should have a foundation, or at least meet me where I am. I'm not going to require.
What does that foundation look like to you?
Being able to have your own job, being able to. For me personally, I like what I offer.
Okay.
So we meeting at the same, like we equally yoked in that aspect.
Okay.
So being able to like have your own place and like at least transportation or however you get it, because I know sometimes transportation is a little, but yeah, just that, because that's what I bring to the table.
The bare minimum.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. The bare minimum.
Jeff?
I'm kind of picking off what Jalen just said with like just wanting to be a provider and wanting to do the things that you know you want to do in a relationship, especially when you get seriously committed with being engaged and married and things of that nature. And also not even just financially, also like emotionally, dealing with past trauma you may have went through in the past, dating, things of that nature. Like, I think that's very important, and why, you know, to speak for myself, like that's where I wanted to make sure I was. But I also had to learn that certain things like the financial piece or even emotionally, you can grow with that person and not have to do that all by yourself. You don't have to be like, oh no, I'm trying to be like this before like we can like get seriously committed. You can also, she can also help you get to that, number one.
Yep.
And you can help her get to
But
that.
what
like
if-
it goes to both sides. Well, what's up?
You're agreeing with him.
I do agree with what he
But
said.
what if he's not where you're at though? Like you just said.
If he's not where I'm at in terms of which part? Financials? In terms of like I make more than him?
You make more than him, you have like,
I don't care about that.
but you just said that.
I want you to have a job.
She wants you to do something.
Yeah,
like
be
doing
doing
something.
something. Like she didn't mean like you got to make
mean
the
like
exact.
you got to make the same amount.
Yeah,
because
like
I think
she
that's
ain't got to
crazy.
be
Like,
making.
You got to at least
just
have a job.
To have a job.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that part don't bother me at all.
I respect that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I thought you mainly asked the men.
I mean,
you said, the men that was geared towards you guys.
Because
my fault. You right.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I don't really have a dog in that fight. I just say, you know, be what you want to attract, like she said. Like,
I think that makes sense.
And
that makes sense.
And you can always have it together because sometimes you got to heal with your partner. You got to grow. You got to earn with your partner. And I think when you keep an open mind, because like I'm not at my peak, so I'm definitely going to expect my partner to be at their peak because I still got money I want to make and things I want to do. And
you better go
I'm
out
still
clean.
healing and changing. You know what I mean? So I think when your goal and your perspective is, that's all I want to say. That's it.
That was good. That was good.
And real quick, just to add on to that quote, I think it's number one is self-awareness.
Yes.
Like you definitely need to know that, okay, this is where I'm at. It is what it is. And it's also like you want to be able to lead your woman to the promised land. And if you're not where you know you need to be, then you're not gonna want to, get into a serious relationship. So I think that's where a lot of men, where that happens with a lot of men as well. But again, I do also think that you can also go through certain things with your partner, like, get it out in the mud together, whatever you want to call it. And y'all can still meet at the promised land.
Because I don't want to struggle together.
So,
yes, I want to struggle alone.
I don't want to struggle together.
But like I think God graces different couples for different things. I feel you got to be graceful a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because some people can lose it all today and get it back tomorrow together.
I'm telling you.
You know what I mean? That's the type of person I am. So it doesn't really necessarily matter. But I think you do have to be graceful. Everybody can come back from certain stuff. Like if you don't know how to be faithful and then you get with someone and then you're cheating, you may not be able to come back from different things.
Are you trying?
Are you trying? There's effort, like there's self-awareness and honesty. I think if you're honest with your partner, your woman, a lot of women want that. Sometimes they can meet you where you're at, even if it's not where they're at. I'll meet you where you're at because you're honest and I see you trying. There's effort. So that's it.
So for me as a man, I don't believe that a man has to have it all together in order to move forward with a woman. And when I mean have it all together, I think finances is all the way at the bottom. Me personally, a lot of people will disagree with that because a man should be able to do this, provide that, and da 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 da. I think emotionally, spiritually, mentally, you got to have it together because you got to know how to lead. Right? We all start from different places. Like it's like if somebody could been way up and lost it all, and that's the time you met them, or you met them when they haven't had anything, but you're in the beginning phases of, hey, you just see their character, and they say, oh dang, I believe in this person. Because I think if a man does find a woman at that point in their lives, they will appreciate that woman that much more when they get to where you have a LeBron and Savannah, right? Instead of like when a man does become all the way together in every facet of their life, financially as well, it's like pretty much I think and I can't say this for everybody because men do think differently. Some men do think, well, it's easier to let go of that because it's like, well, I've got here without you, right? That's why I'm like, it doesn't matter if I got it all together or not, because I would prefer my woman to grow. If I'm all the way down here, I would prefer you see me in the midst of everything. You saw the whole process, you saw it all, right? But if I come all the way together, it's like you didn't really see what it took me to get here, so it's gonna take longer for you to understand me. I'm cool with it, but for me, it doesn't matter what I got going on as long as I'm good emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, and I'm able to lead you in those areas. And I'm ambitious. I'm able to get to the money or able to get to the finances. And it's not even just building finances as far as like just becoming rich or sustaining myself. It's more so setting up long-term wealth for generations.
Can I speak on that?
What's up?
So I agree with you in a lot of different aspects. One thing, just kind of bringing it back to this topic, I feel like finances is a big thing that we don't speak on a lot, and it does cause the divide.
It does
in some aspects.
But that's when if finances is a top priority for you individually, then yes, it can. For me, I think I told you, or if I was talking to my brother, I hate money. That don't mean I'm like,
oh yeah, we talked about it.
Oh yeah, I hate the whole construct of money.
It's wild.
So that's why when it has nothing to do with who my partner is with her character. It has nothing to do with who I am. Right? Money this is what the world takes.
To that point though, a lot of Black females tend to go into relationships with those that are still trying to pick themselves up. And again, that's why I said effort and like, are you trying and are you just like getting comfortable and you
that's why I say that part has to be put together because you can't come broke and have no type of effort. Right? You can't do
like
that.
No drive.
There's no type of drive,
that's what
no
happens.
Ambition.
You are at the bottom and those women are there and it's like they're taking on so much of that responsibility. And then when you do get it, it's like sometimes people throw it back up in your face. Like
and I agree, but that's self-awareness. That's a personal problem. You gotta figure out why. But if you're put together before that happens, before you get there, that's not gonna happen. That won't happen. But you gotta choose your partner wisely.
I was gonna say define put together from your perspective.
Character.
Gotcha.
Character. That's number one on my list. Character. Like outside of that, everything else is kind of like it's cool. We can work on that. But character, if you ain't got the character, I don't even want to be around you. Like, you could be around me. You know what I'm saying? I can shine my light on you. I can plant seeds on you, but I don't want to go where you're at. Follow me.
That part.
That was good. I like that. Has anybody else got anything they want to share?
No, I think
that's the last conversation, my boy. Unless it's some segue.
Nah, we good, brother.
I appreciate this discussion.
We good.
This was
Me
good.
too.
This was good.
This was great.
This was good. Well, we appreciate you all tuning into the No Table Manners podcast, episode 8. And we'll see you guys next time. I appreciate the guests for coming on, having a conversation with us.
Thank you, Brittany.
And of course, until next time, shout out, bro.
See y'all, man. We signing out. Thank you.
You're listening to No Table Manners Podcast.
My boys.
Conversations for open-minded grown
baby.
folks. We hope you enjoy.
My dog. Yes, sir. Hey, my dog.
Jalen, they don't give you no
Hey,
credit.
Jalen was moderating, wasn't
Y'all
he?
don't give Jalen no credit.
Thank you. I'm glad you
Yeah.
Oh my
working.
God.
I'm a workaholic in it.